Hi everyone. We'll start at the top of our mats in Samastitihi. Good, so make your way there when you're ready. You can have the big toes together and the heels slightly apart. Close the eyes if you'd like, just as we begin this practice. Allowing the attention to settle into the body, to settle on the movements of the breath as they spontaneously move in and out through the nostrils and into the body to fill the lungs. As you feel the feet rooting into the earth, feel the crown of the head reaching up towards the ceiling. And feeling into this internal sense of alignment, where the pelvis comes over the feet, over the heels, the rib cage floats over the pelvis, and the crown of the head floats over the rib cage. So that you can hold this upright Samastitihi with as little effort as possible, engaging only what's necessary to feel stable and then relaxing wherever is possible. And so using gravity, using that internal sense of alignment to find that posture. Taking a deep breath in through the nose with a tone in the vocal cords. And fully exhale. Let's bring the palms to heart center. We'll start with an Om. Inhale. Bring the arms back down to your side, opening the eyes, and let's start with Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, bring the arms over your head, palms touch, gazing up. Exhale, fold forward with a long spine, bend the knees if you need to as the hands touch the earth. Inhale, half lift, reach the heart away from the legs. Exhale, step back into a high plank. If you need to modify, lower the knees, bend the elbows for Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, point the toes, lift the heart any amount, press into the hands, and lift the heart away from the earth. Exhale into downward facing dog. You can move through tabletop or roll through the toes. We'll be here for about 5 breaths, using this as an opportunity to settle in and establish the breath. Moving in and out through the nostrils, matching the length of the inhales to the length of the exhales. And finding full breaths in and out without straining the breath, without forcing the breath. Let's take one more here. Fully exhale. Step or jump to the top into half lift. Lengthening through the spine. Exhale, fold. Draw the lower belly in. Inhale, come to stand. Press through the feet. Reach up through the arms, through the pinkies. Exhale, float the arms back down as you reach up through the crown of the head. Again, just like that. Inhale, arms over your head. Press down as you reach up. Exhale, up and over as you fold. Fully exhaling. Inhale, half lift. Press through the feet. Exhale, step or jump back. Stabilize through the shoulders, move them away from the ears as you bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Keep at least a micro bend in the elbows. Exhale into downward facing dog. Or child's pose. You can in any moment take child's pose if you need to rest. Or maybe you just need extra space to reconnect with the breath. Settling in to the body, to the mind, to the breath. Feel the breath expanding out in all directions through the rib cage. And lifting up, in and up, just above the pubic bone. Good, relaxing the neck, gazing up towards the thighs or the navel. One more breath. Fully exhale. step or jump to the top. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand, pressing down, reaching up, wrap through the shoulder blades. Exhale, Samasthiti. Again, inhale, arms over your head, press the feet down, drop the tailbone, lift the rib cage. Exhale, fold, draw the lower belly in. Inhale, half lift, press through the feet as you reach the heart forward. Exhale, step or jump back. Tone the lower belly as you bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift the heart as you reach the toes back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Spreading the fingers wide, waking up the hands. And press the hands down into the mat as you lift the sit bones up and back. It feels a little bit like you're pushing yourself out of the shoulders. But as you do that, keep wrapping the shoulder blades around towards the front of the body so you widen the upper back. Legs are strong, feet are awake. Keep lifting the sit bones up and back as you draw the lower belly in and up, just above the pubic bone. One more breath here. Fully exhale. Step or jump into half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come to stand. Press down as you reach up. Exhale, Samasthiti. We're going to do Surya Namaskar A again, but we're going to move into Trikonasana A. Inhale, arms over your head, palms touch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bring the right foot forward, spin the back heel down so the left foot's at 45 degrees, and you're going to reach the left arm back and up into Trikonasana A. And so that right hand can stay on the floor. This is rather deep. You can come onto the fingertips. You can bring the hand to the shin. You could also grab a block and bring the hand to a block if you prefer that. And so feel free to take an extra wide Trikonasana A, maybe wider than you normally do. Might change the perspective of this posture a bit, which is always interesting. And then feeling the feet rooting down and away from each other. As you reach the tailbone towards the left heel, reach the heart towards the right toes. Draw the lower belly in. Maybe you're gazing up towards that left hand. Deep breath. Let's take one more breath here. And as you exhale, gaze down. We're going to shift into half moon pose. So bend into the right knee. Shift the right hand towards the top right corner of the mat and pick up the left leg. Keep reaching that left arm up. You flex the left foot. Maybe internally rotate that leg a little. So spin the left toes towards the mat. As you root through the right foot, again, reach the tailbone towards the left heel, the heart forward. And then maybe you're gazing up towards that left hand. Again, you can have that right hand on a block if you need to. Let's take a couple more breaths here. Deep breaths. Feel the strength of that right leg. Rooting down, supporting, engaging. Good. On your next exhale, you're going to gaze down, bend into the right knee, and step back into a high plank. So lower the left foot, lower the left hand, step back into a high plank. Inhale. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Taking our time through these transitions. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Same thing on the other side. Left foot forward as you spin the right heel to 45 degrees. And then reaching that right arm back and up. And then adjust that left hand as needed. In order to have this super wide Trikonasana with the hand on the floor requires a lot of flexibility in the hamstrings. So feel free to adjust that as you need so that the torso stays over the left leg. As you press the feet down and away from each other, lift the kneecaps, root down through the feet. The feet are awake, but don't grip the floor with the toes if possible. Deep, steady breaths, reaching out through both hands. So like the arms are reaching away from each other. Good. One more breath here. On your next exhale, gaze down, shift into half moon. So bend into that right knee. Shift the left hand to the top left corner of the mat and pick up the right leg. Flex the foot so you can reach that heel back as you turn the right toes a little bit down towards the floor. So a little bit of an internal rotation. Feel this expansion out through all the limbs. Root the left foot down, reach the right heel back, reach the heart forward, and reach out through both hands. Maybe you're gazing up, test the balance. Maybe it's just to the side. Strong standing leg. Good, let's take one more breath here. And use the exhale to move out of it, bend the left foot, step back into a high plank. In the high plank, take an inhale. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bring the right foot forward. Spin the left heel back. This time, keep the shoulders squared over the right foot for Trikonasana B. So keep the left hand down, reach the right arm up. And you can keep the left hand on the floor on either side of the foot. The outside of the foot will be a little bit deeper of a twist, or you can lift the hand onto a block. Pressing down through both feet, lifting the kneecaps. Draw the lower belly in as you press down through that left foot. Find your breath, steady breathing. Especially pressing down through the outside edge of the left foot so that the left ankle, the left arch isn't collapsing. Good. On your next exhale, gaze down, and I will do the revolved half moon pose. So bend into the right knee, shift the left hand to the top left corner of the mat, pick up the left leg, keep the hips squared. So for now, just keep the right hand on the right hip and maybe move that right hip back. So clip that right hip back, and you can use your hand to help you do that. Press through the right foot, strong right leg, reach the heart forward, and then make sure you're not arching the back. So drop the tailbone so you feel the lower back spreading, the lower belly hollowing and drawing in, and then maybe you can reach the right arm forward and up to go a little bit more into the twist. Gazing to the side or gazing up towards that right hand. Keep pressing through that right foot, drawing the lower belly in. One more breath. Exhale, bend into the right knee, make your way out into a high plank, step back into a high plank, inhale. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, other side, left foot forward. Back heel down. Keep the right hand on the floor and the left arm reaches up for Trikonasana B, revolved triangle pose. Draw the lower belly and drop the tailbone, reach the heart forward and up as you root down through both feet. Smooth, steady breathing. Appreciating this form. Good, let's take one more breath here. Exhale, gaze down, bend into the left knee, shift the right hand to the top right corner as you pick up the right leg. And then first find this squared position, left hand on the hip. As you reach the heart forward, press the left foot down, clip that left hip back, and feel that hollowing through the front of the pelvis. So you drop the tailbone, spread the lower back. You can stay here, or you can reach that left arm forward and up to move more into a twist. Good. For 3, stay with it. Draw the lower belly in. 2, keep rooting through that left foot. 1, as you exhale, move out of it, bend into the left knee. Inhale on the high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, let's bring the right foot forward. We're going to come into Parsvakonasana. So you're going to either have the forearm on the thigh with the left arm reaching straight up, or you can have the right hand on the inside of the right foot with the left arm reaching straight up. Either way, keep pressing that right knee back over the right ankle as you press through both feet. And then the hand is reaching up, and if you have that right hand on the floor, reach it down. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Good. Draw the lower belly in. Good. One more breath. And gaze down. Exhale. We're going to bring the left hand to the floor. And actually, let's come straight up. So spin that left heel back and come up into a high lunge with the arms over your head. Good. So now the shoulders are squared forward, and as you reach up through the fingers, bend into the right knee as you reach back through the left heel. For 3, draw the lower belly in. For 2, 1, exhale, move into a twist. So now bringing the left elbow over to the right thigh, hands in prayer. Good, you can keep that back heel lifted. Reach back to the left heel as you bend into the right knee. Good, draw the lower belly in and then press that left elbow down into the thigh as you move the palms towards the center of the heart. Good, one more breath here. Inhale, come back into a high lunge. Exhale, frame the right foot. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left side, left foot forward. Either bring the left hand to the inside of the foot, the arm straight up, or forearm to the thigh. Good, and press through that right foot, press through the left foot, draw the lower belly in, make it really supported from the ground up as you expand through the arms. Lifting through the arches. Good, one more breath. On your next inhale, spin the back heel, lift it up as you come up into a high lunge. Strong legs, keep the legs working. We're establishing our connection to the earth. Reach through the pinkies as you reach back through the heel and forward through the knee. One more breath here. Exhale as you move into the twist, right elbow to the left thigh, hands in prayer. If you're having a hard time balancing, it helps to pigeon toe the left foot. So turn the toes in a little bit and the heels out. The left heel out a little. Strong legs. Again, bend into the left knee, reach back through the right heel as you press that right elbow down into the thigh. One more breath here. Inhale back into a high lunge, arms over your head. Exhale, frame the left foot. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale, let's jump the feet next to the hands and sit down into Malasana, into a squatting position. Good, so you can stay here, sit on a block if you need to. If it's really difficult for you to be here, you could also elevate the heels with something like a towel, or you can roll the mat and elevate the heels that way. Depends on what's tight. That's if the Achilles are tight, back of the ankles are tight. And just having the elbows on the insides of the thighs if that's accessible. Press the elbows out as you lift the heart up with the hands in Anjali Mudra. Keep lifting the heart as you drop the shoulders. You can stay here, or you can allow the torso to slide in between the thighs. As you reach the arms forward onto the fingertips, drop the head. And then you can activate this a bit by pressing the feet into the mat as you drop the tailbone. And feel that length along the torso. Keep pressing the feet so the quads are working as you drop the tailbone, so the hips lift away from the floor a little bit. Good, for 3, 2, 1. Gently walk the hands back. Good. And let's bring the hands shoulder width apart in front. We're going to step back into a plank. Inhale. And exhale. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upper facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, let's jump through to seated. And we're going to do Navasana. So find your Navasana. You could always take Navasana with the feet on the floor, finding that space just behind the sit bones. Bring the arms out to the side. Good, for 5. You can also lift the feet for 4, or you can straighten the legs. 3, draw the lower belly and lift the heart. 2, and now from here we're going to go into low Navasana. So you're going to straighten the legs, rotate the pelvis under, so the lower back is touching the floor and the shoulders are off the ground. Again, the knees can be bent with the toes touching, or the legs can be straight with the feet off the floor. For 2, press the lower back into the mat. And 1, come back in, cross the shins, and then hands in front of the hips. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come back. Okay. We're going to do that again. Navasana. 1, 2, for 5 breaths. 3, 4, 5. Rotate the pelvis so the sit bones come towards the front of the mat. The lower back touches. 1, lift the shoulders. 2, you can lower the toes. 3, 4, 5, inhale, come up, cross the shins. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Let's do it one more time. 1, draw the lower belly in. 2, 3, soften where you can. 4, 5, rotate under. 1, 2, 3, strong legs. 4, strong body. 5, inhale, come up. Exhale, hands in front. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. And let's take a vinyasa. Come into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Straighten the legs, slide the hands behind the hips, fingertips pointing forward. Inhale up into Purvottanasana, reach the tailbone forward, toes towards the front ground as you lift the pelvis, lift the heart, maybe drop the head back. Good. Keep the feet touching, the legs internally rotating. As you press the hands down and back, lift the pelvis and lift the heart between the shoulder blades. 2 more breaths. So the front of the body opening. 1 more breath. And exhale. Slowly come down. Inhale, catch the big toes for forward fold, or keep the fingertips alongside the leg. Exhale, fold. Keep the legs strong, keep the feet awake. Feel gentle action to internally rotate the legs, even though the legs stay neutral. Just kind of turning on the musculature as if you're going to internally rotate the legs. And that kind of brings a sense of moving in towards the center as you fold forward. Keep breathing. Stay focused on the breath, watching the breath unfold. Deep, steady breaths. Let's take one more here. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale there. Good. Let's take a vinyasa. Cross the shins. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bring the right foot forward and the back knee down. Lift up and bring the hands to the thighs. And you're going to press the hands into the thighs as you drop the tailbone. So it feels like you're lengthening the lower back. The sit bones are moving down towards the floor as much as you can. And then you're going to tuck the back toes and let the knee hover off the floor. For 5, 4, 3, keep dropping the tailbone, 2, 1, and come down. Let's bring the arms over our head. So you're going to do 5 lunge squats. So you're going to inhale, straighten the leg, exhale, come down. Good, that's 5. Inhale, and exhale. That's 4. We're just going to activate before we release. Inhale, exhale, 3, 2 more. Inhale, make it slow. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale, come down. Good. And then we're going to release the front of the hips a little bit. So bending the left knee, catching the left foot with your left hand. And so if this is a difficult bind to catch, a variation could be where you stand on the knee instead, like that. Sometimes that makes it a little bit easier. You could also use a block to help support you as you bring that foot in towards the quad. The second option, which sometimes just depends, sometimes is a little bit more accessible, is to bring the left hand to the floor and catch the foot with your right hand. Good. So you have some options. You can also switch between those options if you'd like. We're focusing on releasing the front of the quad, the front of the hip. As you let the hips sink towards the earth, if you have that right foot planted. Just picking one of these options and staying with it. So with the attention moving into the space of the hip, as you keep the breath also in your field of attention, keeping the breath smooth and steady. Good. Just a few more breaths here. If you have that bind with the right hand, you can roll over the knee, and that kind of hits different parts of those different muscles along the front of the hip. Good. One more breath. Good. Release that. And then if you want, we can, just to counteract this a little bit, bend back onto the left knee to straighten the right leg. And you can fold over the right leg if that feels good. Keep the right leg strong and the right foot flexed and the heart reaching forward. Good. Just a couple more breaths here. Good. Shift back. Plant the hands. Inhale. Step back into a high plank. Exhale. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Maybe notice if you feel a difference between the front of the left hip and the front of the right hip. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, back, knee down. Let's bring the hands to the thigh. Press the hands down as you drop the tailbone. Rotate the pelvis under. So it feels like you kind of like push the front of the right hip forward. Feels a little bit like that. Tuck the toes and hover the knee off the floor. Good. For 5, relax the shoulders. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Good. Do those lunge squats. Arms over your head. Inhale, straighten the back leg. Exhale, let the knee just touch the floor. 5. Inhale. That's 4. Inhale. Slow it down. Lower down. 3. Inhale. Draw the lower belly in. 2. Inhale. That's 1. Good. Release that and find your stretch. You could also sit on that heel. And you're just bringing that foot towards the glute. It doesn't have to touch. And really using the breath, using the exhales. To release what you can, to let go what you don't need to be holding on to. Settling. And if there's a space that opens up in the body, an invitation to move deeper, maybe you move deeper. You can, if you're catching with the left hand, you have the option of rolling around the knee, like towards the inside of the knee, over to the outside of the knee. You might find a spot that's extra juicy. Good. Just a couple more breaths here. And release that, shifting back into that like half split position. Flex the left foot, engage the leg, so you can have the fingertips alongside the leg. You can also fold forward. One more breath here. Good. Make your way into a plank position. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Maybe notice the front of the hips now. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift into a high plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to your bellies for Shalabhasana. Point the toes, Bring the feet together and the arms alongside the body with the palms facing up. On your next inhale, engage the legs and lift the toes back and up as the heart reaches forward and up. Keep reaching the toes and the heart away from each other as you keep the legs strong. Deep breaths for 3, 2, keep lifting. 1, stay lifted and bring the arms over your head. Reach the arms forward. For 5, keep reaching the toes back. 4, palms facing each other. 3, 2, 1. Stay lifted, arms to the side. For 5, like an airplane. 4, even if you're shaking, I'm shaking a little. 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Good. Tuck the toes. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale again, shifts into a high plank. Exhale, lower down. All right, let's come into a Sphinx position where the elbows are underneath the shoulders. You can relax here for a moment. If there's too much tension in the lower back, you can move the elbows forward. Now we're gonna spin the left forearm to be at a diagonal. So you can bend the right knee, reach back with the right hand, and catch the arch side of the right foot. So the palm is facing out. And then you're gonna kick the right foot so that you can feel a little bit of a stretch on the inside of the shoulder. So kick the foot and kind of roll that shoulder back in towards the center as you kick the foot. And maybe you'll feel a really nice stretch in the shoulder, like coming into the pec muscle. Good. Maybe the knee lifts off the floor a little bit, but not necessary. That right leg is strong, engaged. If you want, you can tuck the left toes and lift the left knee. Good. Keep kicking, rolling that shoulder back and in. That kind of feels like you're like moving the shoulder into external rotation. 1 more breath. Good. And now release that and bring the foot towards the outside of the right hip as much as you can. Maybe if you're reaching a certain amount of flexibility where you're here deep enough, the foot is like close to the outside of the hip, you can start to spin the grip where you spin the fingers forward and lift the elbow up. So that like the base of the thumb is on top of the base of the big toe. And then from here you can keep pressing the foot down if that's available to you, just towards the outside edge of the right hip. Don't make sure that the foot's not too far away from the hip, because then that'll like twerk the knee in a way that doesn't feel so good and isn't good for the knee. And then from here we'll be here for a few more breaths. If you want, you can tuck the back left toes, lift the left knee. And as you press the foot down, lift the right knee up. Good. For 3, 2, 1. Release that. Good. That's a difficult stretch. So if you just got the foot somewhere around here, that's great. All right. Let's take a break. If you want to come down to your forehead for a moment, you can. If not, just go straight into the right side. Bring the right forearm at a diagonal. Reach back with the left arm. Catch the arch side of the left foot. And first, let's kick the foot and roll that shoulder back. Good. Feel that stretch. Feels so good. Hopefully you guys are feeling it. And if it's too far to catch the foot, I should have mentioned on the other side, you could use a strap. Strap the foot and grab the strap. Good. And if you want, you can activate that right leg if you like, if that helps to stabilize. For 3 deep breaths. 2. Keep kicking. And 1. Release that. Start to bring the foot towards the hip. Maybe you're spinning the grip so that the fingertips point forward and the elbow points up. And the palm of the hand is on top of the toes. And then you press that left foot towards the outside of the left hip. Maybe you're lifting the back knee as you tuck the toes and lift the left knee up. Keep reaching the heart forward. Deep breaths. For 3, 2, and 1. Good. Release that. Maybe let's take a little break. Bring the palms on the floor, the hands on the floor, and the head to the hands. Shake the hips side to side. Now, since we're here, let's do Dhanurasana. Where you're going to reach back and catch both feet or both ankles. And then if you can't reach the feet, just bend the knees and reach back. And that's your Dhanurasana. Just lifting the heart and reaching back towards the foot. If you catch the feet, catch the ankles or the feet. And then you're going to flex the feet. Keep the feet hip-width distance apart and start to straighten the legs. So it feels like you're kicking the legs and the chest lifts away from the floor as much as possible, as much as it feels okay. And then from here, you have the option to point the feet, keep kicking the feet, and then start to lift the feet up. So you feel the thighs lifting away from the ground. And then if you have space in the lower back, you have the option to bring the feet together. Stay here, keep kicking for 3. Deep breaths. Gazing down at the nose for 2. And 1. Release that. Good, hands next to your chest. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale. Let's come to Gomukasana. So for Gomukasana, you have 2 options. Come through to seated and then go into this. Actually, let's do the right leg over the left leg. And so you can either be in this version where you're getting the knees to cross as much as that's available and the feet in towards the body as much as that's available, and the hips are on the ground. So your hips are between the feet. The other option is to bring the feet together so the hips are off the ground and you're sitting on the feet. I'll give you a side view. So with the hips, this is a little bit harder to balance. Or you can do the feet apart and the hips on the floor. Good. Wherever you are, you're going to catch. If you're in the hips on the floor version, maybe you might need to catch a little bit lower. Catch the lower knee. Just kind of interlace the fingers underneath the knee. If you're in the second version where the hips are lifted, probably bringing the hands underneath the first knee, interlacing the fingers and catching underneath the knee. Where basically you're just using something to pull against to lift the heart and drop the chin. Deep breaths. Good. And so as you're pulling the interlaced fingers up underneath the knee, you're lifting the heart and lengthening the back of the neck as the chin draws down and back. Good. Take one more breath here. Release that. And now we're going to switch the arms. So the left arm, bring the arms out to the side, and you're going to internally rotate the left arm, so the thumb faces down, and bring the hand behind the back. So the back of the hand is moving up towards the space between the shoulder blades. And the right arm is going to externally rotate to spin the thumb up, reach the arm over your head, bend the elbow so that the palm is facing towards the back. And then maybe you interlace the fingers. Maybe the hands can bind here. If they can't, you could also use a strap. Or you can just leave the hands there with the left palm facing out and the right palm facing in. And then you're going to, whether you have the bind or not, allow that right elbow to move in towards the side of the head and reach up. So you're getting into the shoulders a little bit. And then maybe also gazing up. And if you have the arm in the right position, then as you gaze up, that might deepen the stretch in the shoulder a little bit. So keep drawing that elbow in and up. Good. Deep breaths for 3, 2, and 1. 1. Release that. Good. You can go straight into the other side, or you can take a vinyasa in between. Inhale, step or jump back into a plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's jump through to seated. So now the left the left knee comes over the right. And you can, so if I do the second version where you're sitting on the feet, I like to like come forward, cross the thighs, and then sit back. It's a little uncomfortable, especially like on the calves, for me at least. So if you wanted to take the other version, that's cool too. Nice. Catch the knee, interlace the fingers as you lift, as you pull on the knee, lift the heart, drop the chin, and drop the tailbone. It's a really nice posture to feel all these actions and counter actions working with each other to bring this sense of integration in the body. So it's like as you pull the hands, you lift the heart, you drop the chin, you drop the tailbone. And those all sort of work together, all those actions. They come together really beautifully in this posture. Deep breaths. Draw the shoulders down the back. One more here. Release that. And now bring the arms to the side. This time the right arm is internally rotating. The left arm is externally rotating, coming from above. Maybe the hands bind. Wrapping that left elbow in and up, maybe gazing up. Keep lifting the heart as you drop the tailbones to stay connected to the earth. Deep breaths. One more. And exhale, release that. And let's take a vinyasa. Inhale into a plank. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Exhale, lie down on your back. Bend the knees and plant the feet alongside the outside edges of the hips. Let's take a deep breath in here for bridge pose. As you exhale, reach the tailbone forward, the knees forward. Inhale, press through the feet, lift the pelvis. Maybe catch the ankles. Maybe interlace the fingers underneath the hips. As you press through the feet, lift the pelvis up. Make sure the knees aren't splaying wider than the hips. Keep the inner thighs rolling down as you lift the sacrum up. For 3, lengthening the front of the body. For 2, 1. As you exhale, roll down the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time, making the sacrum the last to touch. Inhale. Exhale. Fully. So we're going to do that 2 more times. You have the option to go into Urdhva Dhanurasana, full wheel pose. Inhale. Exhale, tailbone forward, knees forward. Inhale, lift into bridge pose or bring the hands next to the ears, fingertips pointing towards the shoulders, and straighten the arms into full wheel pose, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Feet parallel to each other. Maybe you're bringing the chest over the hands, maybe not. Feel free to keep the elbows bent to keep wrapping the shoulder blades, widening the upper back. And keep pressing through the feet to lift the sacrum up. Good. For 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Come all the way down or come only to the top of the head. Let's take one more inhale. Exhale, reach the tailbone forward, the knees forward. Inhale, just lift the pelvis for bridge, or come into Urdhva Dhanurasana. Maybe walk the hands in. That's available to you. Keep the breath deep and steady. And wherever you are in the back bend, we're focusing on coming into an internal form that feels the front of the body lengthening and the back of the body spreading. So you're not squeezing the back of the body for the sake of getting deeper, because then you're not actually getting deeper. Spreading the back, lengthen the front. One more breath. Exhale, roll down the spine when you're ready. Good. Hug the knees into the chest. Inhale, let's rock up and take a vinyasa. Inhale, make your way into a plank. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. And let's come to a forward fold. You can either keep the legs straight, or you can bend the knees a little bit and bring the bottom of the feet together for this wide diamond shape. And exhale, fold forward. You can play around with, if you're in this diamond shape, with actively moving the knees towards the floor. See if that supports in releasing the back after back bending. Couple more breaths here, turning inwards, winding down. Inhale, come up, and exhale. Let's roll down, lie on the back. Inhale, bringing the feet over the hips. You can stay here, you can come into the full Sarvangasana, shoulder stand. We'll take 10 long, deep breaths here. 10. 9. Make sure if you're in the full version, shoulders really down the back so the neck has a lot of space. 8. Keep reaching the toes up. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Exhale, slowly come out of it. Let the hips come towards the floor and then slowly lower the legs. Matsyasana, catch the back of the thighs, press through the elbows, lift the heart, arch the back, and bring the crown of the head to the mat. You can keep the elbows on the floor, press the elbows to move the shoulder blades towards each other to lift the heart. Open the heart, open the throat. Feel the mind melting into the mat. 5. Legs are strong. 4. 3. 2. 1. Catch the back of the thighs. Press the elbows to come out of it. Tuck the chin. Make your way into a final resting pose. You can shrug the shoulders down the back. Press the heels to tuck the tailbone under a little bit. Let the feet be wide. Let the arms be wide. Close the eyes. Feeling the backside of the body making contact with the earth. Feeling the support of the earth. Releasing the tension behind the eyes. Releasing the tension in the throat. Releasing all technique. Releasing all effort. Releasing judgment and assessment. Feel free to stay here longer if you'd like. But if you're ready to start waking up the body, making small movements, deepening the breath. Good. Reaching the arms over your head. For a full body stretch, take a deep breath in. And exhale, sigh it out through the mouth. Bring the knees into the chest. falling over to either side. And slowly make your way to a seated position. And we'll just take one final moment here. In a comfortable seat, closing the eyes if you'd like. Coming back into that internal sense of alignment. Finding a straight spine with as little effort as possible. Feeling into the residue from the practice. Feeling into the body. Into the seed of stillness, mindfulness, attention. Feeling embodied. Feeling in the body. And offering the fruits of this practice so that the fruits from your effort may be of benefit to all those you cross path with, all sentient beings, suffering beings. May the fruits of our practice serve others in some way. We'll finish this practice with an Om. Bring the palms into Anjali Mudra. And you can join or just listen. Inhale, deep breath in through the nose. Om.